Domination, Jackson, Meeks lead North Carolina to big win over UVA. Chapel Hill, North Carolina's Justin Jackson set them up in the first half, while his teammate Kennedy Meeks knocked them down in the second. Behind an 18-point first-half performance from Jackson, and a strong inside presence from Meeks after the break, number 10 North Carolina defeated number 14 Virginia 65-41 Saturday night at the Dean Smith Center. The 41 points were the fewest allowed by a UNC team under coach Roy Williams. On the surface it looked like the Tar Heels beat the Cavaliers, 18-7, 8-5, at their own game, slowing things down and keeping the scoring low. While Carolina played a part, Virginia didn't help themselves much, missing a lot of open looks at the basket. "It goes back to the ball just didn't go in the basket for them," Williams said. "This was a game where some shots went in the basket for us, and didn't go in for them." Plenty of shots went in for Jackson in the first half, scoring 18 points as the Heels, 23-5, 11-3, jumped out to a 34-22 lead at the break. At one point Jackson's 18 points were tied with the entire Cavaliers roster. If not for a string of 4 consecutive free throws from UVA guard London Pence before halftime it would have stayed that way. "I thought Justin was our whole offense in the first half," Williams said about his junior forward. "He kept us in there, to say the least." In the first half, Jackson finished with a game-high 20 points. His first basket of the second half took a while, but Meeks carried the load. The senior from Charlotte scored the first 2 buckets to start the second half after going scoreless in the first 20 minutes. He was more active around the paint, and even when he wasn't scoring he was dishing to teammates, hitting Isaiah Hicks for a dunk to put the Heels up 44-27. "I was just frustrated in the first half because I couldn't really find the right positioning," Meeks, who finished with 13 points, said. "I shied away from being aggressive a little bit in the first half. I started posting up in the middle because they can't double-team us that way." After a drought from both teams that seemed to last forever, Joel Berry's 3 from the top of the key brought life to the building and gave the Tar Heels a 20-point lead, 49-29. With 7:34 remaining in the game. Carolina hit 2 of 7 field goals during the stretch, including Jackson's first basket of the second half. During that same time frame the Wahoos 0 for 8 from the floor, including 5 missed threes. Their only points were a pair of free throws Mamadi Diakite. If Berry's 3 woke the building, the next basket, a dunk by Isaiah Hicks, 10 points, blew the roof off the place. Meeks muscled his way inside for a foul and hoop, and his old-fashioned three-point play gave the Tar Heels their biggest lead of the night. Moments later Meeks scored back-to-back layups, pushing the UNC lead to 63-36. The Jackson-Meeks duo reminded Carolina fans of another inside-outside combination, Bryce Johnson and Marcus Page, who had their jerseys retired at halftime. When asked what was the key to a 27-5 run in the first half, Meeks had a simple answer. "Justin. I think he did a tremendous job of knocking down shots." Jackson, who was 1 for 5 in the second half, credited his teammates for getting him the ball and setting screens in the first half, when it seemed like he couldn't miss. "I got into a rhythm, that's all it was," Jackson said. A rhythm was something the Cavaliers, who shot a season-low 27% from the floor, never got into. "Well, I think offensively we struggled," UVA coach Tony Bennett said. "I mean it's no mystery we don't score a ton inside, so when we're missing some perimeter shots, some were pretty good shots, that puts a lot of pressure on us defensively." It was a horrible night for the Cavaliers, who shot 27% from the floor, a season low. UNC's lead was so comfortable that when UVA hit its first 3 of the game, after starting 0 for 17, the fans actually cheered. Only 4 Cavaliers hit more than 1 field goal in what was the second fewest offense point total by an opponent in the history of the Smith Center. "It shows that we are capable of playing either way," Meeks said about slowing down the Wahoos, while scoring in the 60s for just the 3rd time this season. "Sometimes you have off days, but I think we did a good job of doing what coach asked us and getting the win." Number 10 North Carolina 65, number 14 Virginia 41.